adventurous Win here. I thought I'd show off a few of the skulls in my vast collection of specimens and provide a few facts about them. Here we have a Siamese crocodile skull, an American alligator, a replica of a black bear, bobcat. We also have a coyote, a gray fox, and a beaver, and a capuchin monkey skull. So, let's see which one we should start with first. I think we should start with the largest. So, this is a replica of the American black bear. They have huge jaw muscles, as you can see behind the eye. Right there in the jaw joint. This whole cavity here would be essentially muscle. That's for crushing bone and meat. Very large canines. They're, of course, omnivores that eat many things such as fruits, nuts, bugs, tubers, meat, fish, pretty much anything they get a hold of. They got many teeth in the back for crushing and grinding. As you can see from these sockets here, they really do have a strong bite force. And their bite force is actually 800 psi, which is very crushing for such a small bear. They're native to North America. Next, we'll move on to the bobcat. They're a little bit larger than a normal house cat, but they are wild, and they have very sharp teeth. And of course, they have a bite force of 548 newtons, or about 123 psi. Very strong bite muscles for a cat. They're actually even stronger than a coyote or a fox, or even a cheetah in some regards, in comparison to their body and skull and muscles ratio. Next, I think we'll go on to the crocodile. Over here, the Siamese saltwater crocodile. Crocodiles are one of the animals, I believe, that have the strongest bite force of any known animal. Crocodiles have a bite force on average of about 3,700 psi, and they, of course, eat anything. They have a bunch of interlocking razor-sharp teeth that always regrow. And in recent studies, I believe it was proven that they're actually immune to most human diseases due to their blood. And they do have a weak spot right behind the eyes here, in this spot here. That's very weak. And it goes right into their small brain cavity there. And of course, it dispatches them quite easily, same with alligators. Now we'll move on to its cousin, the alligator. Now, alligators don't have very interlocking teeth like the crocodile. They're more spaced out, but they do interlock as they get older. And the alligator, as I showed you, has a more rounded snout. An alligator bite force can be up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, compared to a lion's, which is about 600 pounds per square inch, and humans have about 120 to 160 psi with our bite force. And next, I think we'll move on to the beaver. Now, their teeth, the American beaver's teeth, do not stop growing. They're constantly chewing. They feed on a variety of things, and you've known them for tearing down trees and making dams. And of course, they have little molars in the back for eating and grinding food. And of course, the beaver has a bite force of 180 psi. So it's actually very strong for such an animal. And then we have, of course, the next one is going to be the gray fox. Very long canines. And of course, they're very, very good, successful hunters and scavengers. Very small for a canine, though. But a gray fox is about 92 psi in their bite force. And like I said, it's actually weaker than the bobcats. Next, we're going to move on to the capuchin monkey, I think. Yeah. So it is a distant relative of us. It's an old world monkey. They're actually very friendly, and they are omnivores. They eat just about everything, same as we do. They're very similar in us, as they have molars in the back. They have canines, just like we do. And similar in bone structure, skull structure. Large brain capacity. They actually have the largest brain and is the smartest of all the monkeys. And the other thing is, they rarely do bite, but when they do bite, it's in rapid succession. They have little tiny sharp teeth, but they do not act that aggressively. And they have forward-facing eyes just like we do. So it's very human in a way. And like I said, a large brain capacity. And last but not least, let's move on to the coyote skull. Now, they have a bite force of about 88 psi, and usually it's their bottom jaw that actually delivers the strongest bites. They're scavengers and good hunters as well, opportunistic feeders, and they also have a very large brain capacity. And it's actually interesting just how similar, when you have different canine species side by side here, even though the fox is smaller, you can tell that its skull is relatively the same, even though you can see a vast difference in anatomy here. It's a little bit more profound in the jaw muscle area. The fox has actually got larger canines, and it also appears that they have smaller molars in the back compared to the coyotes, even though the anatomy is very similar. But in terms of the brain capacity, it's interesting how the coyote's brain is actually not that much bigger than the fox, even though the fox is much smaller than the coyote. So very interesting. I hope this has been a little bit informative, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed. And if you want to see more from my collection, I'll be sure to do that. Just let me know in the comments. Till next time, guys.